Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to Inspire Your Best Life at inspireyourbestlife.com with Dr. Surjit Khanna. It's a it's a welcome script where we work every week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on a theme with both our co-hosts, Valley Anderson and also Nicole McIsaac. And they work on a theme, and each day is a separate topic. But then we have a workshop where we invite people, everybody, young people, anybody under 30, to join us to discuss the topics. What is going to be your best life? So, with that as the background, I wanted to let you know that Dr. Connor is an attorney, a child safety advocate, a servant on the underserved, and a champion of the nonprofit Voice of the Kids. And also recently launched the returningyouth.com campaign, part of the Post Incarceration Juvenile Justice Reformation Act initiative. I'm going to turn it over to Nicole McIsaac, who's going to tell you about what this week's theme is and what individual message are that we're going to be discussing. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Gary. Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. Today, we are discussing this week's theme of Strive to Thrive that was broken up into 3 different topics. The first day was creating a support system. The second day was needing a positive mindset. And the third day was creating a set routine. So Dr. Khanna, can you tell us a little bit about this week's theme of Strive to Thrive? Dr. Khanna, you're on mute.
Thank you very much, everyone, to the second workshop. I'm really excited that we have Valley Anderson, Nicole, and Brianna Mueller. And also we have Gary here. So we always try to do this workshop with at least few people so that we can toss the ideas, we discuss the topic, and see how we can do a good brainstorming and come up with some type of resolution at the end. So this week, what we covered from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday was on the main topic called Strive to Thrive. So strive means how we can have built up the confidence and move forward, overcoming all the challenges. That's what strive means. And thrive means to succeed or to achieve the goal. And we've broken down this particular thing into 3 days or 3 episodes. The first episode, we discussed about having a strong support system. What we do in this type of motivational or inspirational talk is we do not take the negativity of the topic. We try to find a solution and turn it to a positive so that we can implement within ourselves. So striving something for succeed is the theme. That strive means, as I said, we need to find out what are the things we need to take in order for us to succeed. So having a strong support system, we kind of emphasize few things on the strong support system. Next slide, please. Which talks about how we can have a strong support system. We covered what does this support system gives you. We also covered that at the end, when you have a good support system, what things you need to eliminate. In that way, you can just keep the positivity of this particular topic and move forward. Well, what I would like to do right now, since we are going to the first episode about the creating a good support system, I would like to have a discussion on that topic. Open up with our new guest who is here with us all the way from Montana. If you guys can unmute yourself, then I would ask Brianna a quick question. What do you think about the support system we just highlighted on? What type of support system would you like to see you can establish that will give you or move you forward in your career?
Well, personally for me, my family is a big support system, especially my mom and dad. They've always been there for me, and as well as my grandparents and like everyone in my family and my friends. They've always just been a really big support to me. And even though I might have struggles of not knowing what I want to do for my future, they never give up on me, and they always do everything they can to make sure I can do what I want to do. And it's very comforting.
Excellent, excellent. Well, if I may ask you, what are you in school?
No, not anymore. I used to be. I'm currently working right now at a retirement home.
Or in what field are you working on?
I am working in a retirement home at the moment.
Excellent. So kind of a little bit towards the healthcare, right? Okay. So did you ever face any type of setback in your work that you needed your family or friends or grandparents, you just said, to boost you, give you the support? Did you ever feel like that?
Yes, I did. Especially with COVID, it really hit our retirement center, and it was a lot of pressure on all of my coworkers and myself, and we had to be in touch with my family, and just without them, it would have just been too much to bear. Especially when you get really close to the residents that you're working with.
So Nicole, if I switch the gear to you now, do you think that what Brianna just said about the challenges, and she got a good support system that helped her to overcome this, but do you feel that you also needed something like that when you were facing some of the challenges because of the COVID-19?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I definitely agree with what she had to say. And, although we face maybe different challenges, we are similar in the fact that we needed a support system to fall back on. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, whether that be virtually Skyping or FaceTiming or socially distancing your friends, or just picking up the phone or having your family. You definitely needed a support system, and the proper support system to get you through 2020. And I think that definitely rings true, especially today on the last day of 2020.
So you think the support system is important, correct?
I think it is critical for getting through any sort of challenge through life. It's really important to have that proper support system to fall back on if you fail.
If you fail. Okay. Well, everybody during this pandemic had a challenge because, again, just like how Brianna said, she's working on the, adult home. That is a big challenge. And definitely, medical challenge you had, definitely had a work schedule challenge, different challenges you face. But having a good support system is very much needed, which we kind of know that that if we don't have that, then we cannot pull through. Valley, what happens if you don't have a good support system?
Well, for people like me who rely on my support system, especially like my mom, for if like my childcare gets closed down, so I rely on them quite a bit just for like my son. But if it weren't for them, I wouldn't really be able to do my day-to-day kind of things. Like I wouldn't be able to go to work. So that's where it'd get really hard if it weren't for my support system. They're also there a lot for me mentally.
So you think the support system gives you a little bit happiness, a little bit, relieving from your stress? Is that what you mean by that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Just to like vent and let him hear it and then be good after it's all out, you know?
Absolutely. No, that's exactly what we covered during our episode 1, that what is the outcome of a good support system? Not what it does, but what is the outcome you get it out? Well, you kind of ease out the stress you build up. Whether you are young, whether you are old, doesn't matter, but stress builds up. And when you are able to get the positive vibes from your friends or families or peers or colleagues, then you definitely get rid of the stress eventually, not at one time, and then you move forward with it, and that gives you happiness. Because the whole purpose of this strive is to get the happiness so that you can be successful. The next one, which we kind of covered, was boosting your self-love. Brianna, do you love yourself?
Yes, I do.
Why do you love yourself? Because you have a beautiful
many
face, because you have a beautiful hair, beautiful smile. What makes you feel that you love yourself? Why?
Well, I feel like I love myself personally because of the way I personally motivate myself. I do use my support system as a motivation, but I also talk to myself and like just say, you can do it, and don't worry, stop overthinking it. It's like, and that makes something to, so I just love myself more just with that. I don't know.
Okay, well, no, that's exactly what I wanted to hear from you, that the reason you love yourself, because, hey, I can do it. Okay, I can do it, or I should do it. Nothing should set back. The self-confidence, having the self-confidence is very much needed in order for you to strive to thrive. Okay, the self-confidence is needed. But the first lesson of the self-confidence is you should love yourself. You cannot hate yourself and then go and say, oh, I want to succeed. No, very first thing is that you got to love yourself. In order for you to love yourself, you got to find out what are the things you have strength on. Everybody has a strength and weakness, right? So if we pick up the strength of an individual, and let's do this, this is what the workshop is. So let's pick up your strength, Brianna. What is your strength? Give me one thing that is your strength.
One of my strengths is trying to think. Probably just being reliable and just being there for my friends and my family.
Like reliable, you are reliable and you are accessible to your families whenever they need, right? Okay, great.
Yes.
Valley, what is your strength?
I feel like my strength would be is I care a lot about people, and so I'm always like there to listen to anybody, like whoever wants to talk, and I'll give feedback where I can and that kind of stuff. So I feel like that's my biggest one.
Like a caregiver?
Well, I am a caregiver, but it's not just for like elderly patients. It's just I don't know. I like to make
In
people
that
feel
way,
happy.
you know, you're just like you love to give. You love to give and you love
Yeah.
to care about people. That's a very good,
Yeah.
that's a very good strength. Nicole, what is your strength?
I'd say my best strength would be the fact that I'm always willing to learn and I'm very adaptable in many different situations.
Willing to learn and adaptable. I don't want to forget Gary. Gary, what is your strength? If you can pick up one, not multiple. I know you have a lot of strengths, but give one strength.
I guess my one strength is I have a tremendous amount of energy. So I am never
Never have a downtime.
I have a little downtime this morning, but after everything that went on yesterday, but with our dinner and
So energy, having a always having energy, that's a good. Okay. So do you see this? This is what makes you love yourself. Weaknesses should not come and make you go down, because strength needs to be built up more and more strong than the weaknesses. I'm not going to point out all of your weaknesses, but let's say my weakness is I love not to sleep. Okay, I don't like sleeping. That's my weakness. Or I won't say I can't, but I don't sleep. That's my weakness. But does that weakness override my strength? No. So I need to work on my weakness so that it cannot override the strength. Same thing, what we do in order to love ourselves, motivate ourselves, we got to work on the weaknesses. Transforming the weaknesses to the strength is called building up the self-confidence. That's how you build up the confidence. Like for instance, Gary is a runner. I'm not a runner. But Gary, when he starts a race, what kind of boosting does he need from himself? Oh, I can do it. Yes, I have to, let's say, I don't know, how fast do you run, Gary?
well, I used to be quite a bit faster in my younger age. It's always difficult as you get older.
Just pick up a time per mile.
Well, I did run a mile, a marathon when I was younger at 6 minutes and 30 seconds per mile, but that was very
Okay.
young.
Well, okay, let's say 6 minutes per mile. Okay, that's a lot. But if I tell Gary, I want you to make it 5 minutes per mile, what he knows, but he will say, yes, I can do it, or I will try to do it. He may not succeed being 5. He might end up in 5.23 or 5.52, but at least he has, oh, I can do it. That self-confidence is needed. And in order to gain that self-confidence, you constantly have to work on the weaknesses, and constantly you got to have a good and tight and strong support system. Do you see how I'm linking the support system to your self-confidence? That is very important. You cannot, because let's say, again, taking the same example, if Gary says, no, I can do it, and then, Nicole says, no, Gary, you cannot do it. Valley comes and says, no, Gary, you cannot do it. What happens? He becomes demotivated. He starts hating himself. He starts losing confidence on himself. Even though Gary thinks, I have never done it. I've done it the maximum 6 minutes. But since I'm getting a challenge for 5 minutes, and Nicole is saying, yes, you can do it. Valley is saying, I can do it. You can do it. Brianna is saying he can do it. Surjit is saying he can do it. I will do it. Doesn't matter what is the end result, because never the end result is in our control. Okay? But if all the support system, if Nicole, Valley, Brianna, and myself, we are Gary's support system and strong and positive support system, he will definitely attempt to do it. So that's what is needed in order for Strive to thrive.
And Dr. Khanna, that's exactly what a coach does.
Correct.
There's been so many studies showing that runners do remarkably better once they are adequately coached. And it goes the same for having a mentor in your life, that people do much better when they are adequately mentored and coached.
Correct. You're absolutely right, Gary, about this, because it's not the point, what is the end result? It is always the starting point. How you start and how you carry out your journey towards the end, that matters. That's why you need a good coach, you need a good mentor, and you need a good support system. Starting point is very much needed. We got to start. Let me give an example of a swimmer. You are standing at the bank of the river, looking at the water, trying to feel the water is cold or not, trying to see where the stream is going, trying to see how deep it is. And then, oh my God, can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? Oh, it's too cold. It's too this, it's too that. But as soon as you make the jump in the water, doesn't matter how cold it is, how you are already there. You got to start the journey. So starting point is very important. Having a good support system and self-motivation, loving yourself is very important. And don't love yourself by saying, looking at the mirror. That's not going to give you the confidence. You got to look into the mirror which is inside. That self-confidence is needed. Third one, which we spoke on the third episode, was creating a set routine. Why creating a set routine helps towards success? How come this Strive to Thrive has an impact on creating a set routine? Nicole, what is your opinion about creating a set routine?
I think routines are definitely super important. And, it kind of ties in hand with the 2 points that you mentioned earlier of having that positive mindset and, getting stuff done, motivating yourself. Everything just kind of aligns and I feel falls under the umbrella term of creating a routine. So personally, from my experience, I found more success from my individual endeavors just from following a set routine, using a planner, scheduling out my weeks, my days, my tasks, tasks, even if they were personal tasks or professional tasks. I really do believe that a set routine and schedule is super beneficial to an individual when they're looking to succeed in any different avenue.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for giving out that. Valley, what happens if you don't have a set routine? Let's say,
Well, you can end up.
go ahead,
What?
go ahead, sorry.
Go
Go
ahead. Okay, well, I was going to say you can end up just not achieving your goals or whatever you had to do that day. And your day could end up being wasted doing nothing and just not being productive. I'm usually like that if I don't have a planner filled out or my calendar filled out for the month. I miss appointments or I just don't get the stuff done that I need to do. So I think having a routine and stuff like that is very important.
Excellent, excellent. Brianna, you are working with the elderly home. What do you see if those elderly people don't have a set routine? What kind of chaos or havoc happens?
Well, they get very confused if they don't have the same routine every day, because a lot of them lose their memory. Lose their memories. They have Alzheimer's and dementia, and they don't think the same as they used to. And if they don't have the same constant thing, they will be completely off course.
Absolutely. So having a set routine is very important. If we take this analogy which we spoke about, Gary running, if Gary does not have a set routine to run at the certain time and certain path with a measurable distance and all these things, okay, he cannot run. And set routine means not only that, to build up the self-confidence. If you don't wake up in the morning, instead of waking up 6 o'clock in the morning, you wake up at 6 p.m. And next day you wake up at 12 noon. And the following day you wake up at 3 a.m. First day you have a breakfast at 7 a.m. Next day you have a breakfast at 9 p.m.
Yeah, Dr. Khanna, as a matter of fact, if you don't have a routine for running and you skip, if you skip days, when you do go back to it, it's extremely painful. Your muscles will get stiff.
Absolutely.
It's the same with anything else. If you're striving to write a book or get a career or moving ahead, if you don't continually do it, you're going to be out of practice for it.
Absolutely, Gary, absolutely. So why that type of exercise we did on the self-routine or setting up self-routine, so that you can get a self-confidence on yourself, because you got to have energy to do something. You got to have the motivation to do something. If you have a lazy brain, what happens? I want to sleep all day. I don't want to achieve the goal. So you might want to have a strive to sleep instead of strive to thrive. Okay. So what is going to lead to that? If you have a strive to sleep, what's going to happen? Can you achieve? You cannot achieve anything. So strive to thrive, in order for you to succeed, needs a set routine. So I think this particular workshop, which we just exercised our brain here, first one is we have to have, what is the first one, Valley? Valley, what was the first topic for Strive to Thrive? You're muted.
Sorry, I was still muted, but the importance was having support systems.
Having a support system. So we all understood, in order to strive, support system is important. Second one, Brianna, what did we cover the second one? What makes you succeed the second topic we discussed on?
Having a positive mindset.
Having a positive mindset, building up a self-confidence, loving yourself, love what you do. These are the things that will help you to strive to thrive. Last but not the least, Nicole, what did we say about the last portion of the Strive to Thrive?
It was creating a set routine.
Creating a set routine. So having these three things together, we can succeed anything. We will be successful. Just like we are successful in covering from January 1st, 2020, today is December 31st, 2020. We were successful in covering entire 365 days. Is it leap year? This was leap year, right? Was this leap year, Nicole? I think so, right? You are
I'm
new
not
to-
100% sure. I think it was.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
20.
Yes,
it
it was.
So it is 365 days or 366 days?
So it'd be 366.
Okay. So we started with that and we ended with that today. So we could not have done it if we would not be having all these three elements to strive. Tomorrow is the New Year's. We succeeded 2020. We can say we succeeded 2020. We succeeded the milestone of crossing 366 days. Now the new thing comes tomorrow. So one of the important thing about the New Year's resolution is to strive to thrive. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do on a New Year resolution, you got to think that I will achieve by the end of 2021. You got to have a set routine for that. Brianna, since you are our guest here, if you would like to share one of your New Year resolution, what would be that?
One of my New Year's resolutions would be self-motivation, and another one is not to procrastinate as much because I tend to get distracted easily.
Excellent. You get distracted easily. So what type of steps are you planning to take during 2021 and set a routine on that so that you can strive and succeed by the end of 2021? What steps are you planning to take?
Well, I want to put more of a strict schedule on myself because, and like just like you said before, you have a hard time sleeping. Well, I love to sleep. I sleep all day.
Why don't you trade? We can trade.
Yeah, yeah. I need to not sleep as much and make sure I'm up at a certain time and and yeah, how to set schedule put down for myself.
Excellent. That's a very good point to work on it and go towards the goal. What is the goal? Reduce my sleep so that I can achieve all the other things. That's so good. Okay. Valley, what is your New Year resolution?
I just want to come out a bit more. I feel like this year I enclosed myself off a little bit. So I just want to put myself back out there and just like start opening up more friendships. And I already started with that. Inspire's helped me to open up and not be so enclosed. So I've been talking to more people about this kind of stuff. And so it's helped already, and it'll
Excellent.
continue throughout the next year, I'm hoping.
Excellent, excellent. Don't hope. Build up the confidence. Having that confidence is important. We would not have started this workshop if we didn't have the confidence. Okay. So thank you very much for that, sharing your New Year resolution. How about Nicole? What is your New Year resolution besides you being my dietitian?
I think that's the most important one. But I guess, okay, if my New Year's resolution would have to be to gain more confidence, not only as, you know, in my personal endeavors, but also just in my professional work as well.
Excellent. And what are the steps are you going to take? Are you going to have a set routine, or are you going to just haphazardly, you're going to just go for it?
I think I'm going to have a set routine. I think I'm going to need a positive mindset. And I think I'm going to need to, you know, fall back on my support system sometimes. So I think this week's Strive to Thrive definitely kind of helped me figure out a little bit.
Excellent. Excellent. One of the things which we all need to understand here, that when you're creating a strong support system, do not forget to eliminate the weeds, those who are not supporting you, those who are not giving you the right mindset, those who distract you. Like Brianna said, you know, I get distracted. So things that distract you, the people, those who distract you, the people, those who do not add value to your life, to your motivation, or to your New Year resolution, try to keep them out of your boundary. So putting a boundary is very much needed. That's why we say that creating a good support system. That means putting a wall around you so that nobody else can come. Last but not the least, Gary, what is your New Year resolution for 2021? Give one. Just give one.
Well, I always start the year off on health. That's always been my thing, you know, making sure I'm healthy, and I've always been pretty consistent this year on it. I think COVID actually helped me with my wife. She got me on a pretty steady diet. So I always started out the year thinking about health, and it's very important, you know, to think about that for yourselves, and especially as you're getting older. So that's always my New Year's resolution, to continue looking at myself and improving my health.
And that means you have to have a set routine, correct?
Oh yes, the routine is very set. It's in terms of what to eat, when to eat.
Right.
Part of what I do is called intermittent fasting. So you have to have a routine where you're not eating 17, 18 hours in between meals. So that you can't do it without a routine. And Nicole knows that also. She has a very, very strict routine. She's
Absolutely.
also
That's a good point. And how do you think in your resolution the support system works?
Are you asking Nicole or me? I'm sorry.
No, to you, Gary.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Support
Yeah.
system. The support.
Well, my support system is my wife. She's amazing. What she does is I can't thank her enough. She makes this incredibly complicated food. It tastes incredibly good.
Sometimes.
No, all the time, and it always fills me. I never feel hungry, so I'm always looking forward to a meal. I had a fantastic breakfast this morning, and so I really appreciate it. She's a huge support.
What are the negativity things will you try to eliminate?
Well, I think sometimes when I'm out, I will break the fast. I'll have a pizza. That's always very difficult to resist. So
having a healthy pizza is not bad, but anything you eat has to be healthy. Make sure everybody stays healthy in this New Year. Make sure that we don't get whatever is going on around this virus thing. Let's stay safe. That is very important. Put your mask when you are with unrelated people. Make sure you have social distancing. There are a lot of things that needs to be done. Okay, and that's one thing which, because of that, the NTAC 2020 did fly by, but in a very set system and in a very striving way. So I think in conclusion, today's workshop, everybody, those who are listening to this, please make sure that you put the strive as number one priority in order for you to succeed. You cannot succeed if you don't build up these three main systems we just spoke about. And we've been speaking this whole 3 days in the past. And today in the conclusion, I would like to say that 2021, let's strive to succeed. Let's strive to thrive in 2021 and make it a wonderful year for everybody, and wish you all Happy New Year, and let's stay focused. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Khanna. Thank you very much. Just want to point out that this is Inspire Your Best Life at inspireyourbestlife.com. For Dr. Khanna, we have a weekly show co-hosted by Nicole and Valley Anderson, and we always like people to join us. Brianna, we really appreciate you taking the time and sharing your heart with us. But we also want to point out that Dr. Khanna has made available for the first quarter of this coming year coaching sessions. And these are individual coaching sessions that if anybody has the desire to, they're maybe stuck in their life or they want a goal in their life, he will be happy to give a 1-hour free coaching session with you. Contact us at contactk.com. It's always beneficial to have a coach, to have someone who has a little bit more experience than you, a little bit older, business experience, legal, all these things help. I used to be a recruiter for a very large company, so I used to recruit in many different colleges, and I used to advise many different young people as far as where their career goes. So there's a wealth of experience here. We want to help you. And please contact Dr. Khanna at contactk.com. And he does give out his phone number, which I'm pretty excited to share with everybody. And that is area code 302-746-2311, 302-746-2311. That's his personal number. If you would like some coaching, some counseling, some advice, some goal setting, whatever you call it, please contact him. Nicole, I'm going to let you take it out and tell us how they can find us weekly on inspireyourbestlife.com. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Dr. Khanna, for this informative workshop. Like we said earlier, Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. I am Nicole McIsaac, and we welcome you to our weekly show, Inspire Your Best Life by Dr. Surajit Khanna. We hope you were able to take something away from the past 3 episodes in addition to today's workshop and are just a little closer to finding your own personal summit. We want to thank Brianna for being our guest speaker here today and appreciate her contribution to the discussion. Stay tuned for next week's theme of Start Today and Not Tomorrow that will air Monday morning. Please also make sure to visit Dr. Khanna's website, returningyouth.com, to hear more about the most recent initiative that's been launched for post-incarcerated young adults. In addition, please don't hesitate, like said before, to reach out for any questions, concerns, or comments at contactk.com. That's contactk.com. Thank you. Have an amazing day, and we will see you next year.
Thank you very much. God bless.